Welcome, everyone, to this new episode of My Soul Chronicles, where today I'm going to talk about my recent mini trip, more like a getaway, to Topanga Canyon, where I needed to just re energize and refocus, get my mind right before coming back and starting a new work week. And I always try to tell people, if you don't travel like out of the state or out of the country, find somewhere in the state that you live in that is like a place where you can just go for like a few days just to just get yourself together. Like I said, to just refocus. And I chose Topanga Canyon because I want to say year before last, a good friend of mine, who was also my flatmate in England, she came for a visit, and I ended up taking her to her Airbnb, which was in Topanga Canyon. I will admit it was a little tricky because the roads are just it's just crazy. Um, I will say, if you're gonna go into Topanga Canyon, make sure you go during the day, because when I picked her up from the airport, she landed at night, and I had to drive her from LAX to her Airbnb that was deep in the Topanga Canyon. It was an adventure. When I say dark, I had never seen a place as dark as Topanga Canyon. I actually wanted to come back and just, myself, rent an Airbnb and just stay there, like I said, for like 2 days. So I ended up going. I usually work every other weekend. I wanted to pick a weekend that I knew I was going to be off, where I can actually drive up there after work and just spend, if not like a day and a half, like 2 days. And the great part about going to Topanga Canyon is that you're driving along a Pacific Coast Highway, and you're just looking at water, and you can actually smell it, like you're literally near the ocean. And it's also a great tourist area because you're not too far from the Santa Monica Pier, which is where I ended up going like that Saturday. And then Venice Beach, you can actually walk from Santa Monica Pier right to Venice Beach. Then you have like museums and stuff like that that's around in that area. But I ended up staying at an Airbnb in Topanga Canyon, and I entitled this episode "Lunch for One" with a question mark, because on that Sunday I wanted to, do a lunch or brunch type thing before driving back. Woodland Hills, Tarzana area, which is where I live at. And this lunch that was only for one ended up being a lunch for three, because I ended up befriending a couple, an older couple, and they were just like, they, my favorite word, they were so amazing. So yes, said after work I wanted to just drive to Topanga Canyon and just get away, because sometimes you want to get away from like just the hustle and bustle of the city. And I work in the city, and it was just like so much was going on as far as work and then just personal stuff. I was just like, you know what, let me just get away so that I can just get my mind together and then come back refreshed for the new week. So like I said, I drove along on Pacific Highway, and I didn't really have an itinerary on what I wanted to do because it was only 2 days. So it's just like, what am I going to do in just 2 days? I just wanted to get away and just relax. So the Airbnb that I stayed at, again, it was kind of in the canyon, but not too far up as my friend DQ's Airbnb, where she stayed at when she came to visit. I didn't go out and do too much because I just wanted to be around the Airbnb location, which is up in the hilly. I mean, Topanga Canyon is hilly. I don't care where you step out from, you're going to be seeing a ton of hills. And especially when you get up in the morning and you go out on the deck or whatever, and you just want to take in the fog, or, you know, the coolness before the sun comes up and it gets hot. It's breathtaking. Actually, it's really breathtaking. I ended up just staying in the area, just lounging on the deck. I don't even think I looked at my phone because, for one, phone service up in the canyon can be a little iffy. And I didn't even latch on to the Wi-Fi. I was just like, I just want to just disconnect from everything. That was my intention, just to disconnect from everything. The Airbnb host was giving me a lot of places I can go and just, visit and check out and stuff like that, which I totally appreciated. And the good thing about where I stayed at too, it was like I could drive back down to the Pacific Coast Highway, and like I said, you're off the water as you're driving. So I ended up going to Venice Beach. I've only been to Venice Beach twice. This would have made like my third time going. And Venice Beach is for, oh my gosh, you see stuff that is just like, wow. I actually, on this day that I went, there was like a volleyball tournament that was going on, I guess, because there were different teams, whether they were adults or they were children. So it was like, it looked like a volleyball tournament because it was a lot of people out just doing, playing volleyball. But they were all separated. Like there were different setups for people that were playing volleyball. You had people that were surfing. And the one thing too, just a side note, I got up so early to go to Venice Beach. It was an overcast, so the sun had not came up yet. So that was a good thing. And just the air, the cool air coming off the water, I was like, oh my gosh, yes. The last time I went to Venice Beach, I was actually going to a museum for an exhibit. And this was the first time I decided to stick my feet in the water, and because I still had a little bit of time before I went to the exhibit. So I just walked along the beach, put my feet in the water, and just watch the surfers. So again, that was kind of like the same thing this time as well. It was like an overcast, and I ended up meeting somebody that was from Australia, and he had came for an event, and I was just sitting on the beach, on the bench rather, that was on the beach, and I was just minding my business, just people watching, because it wasn't nothing else I was going to do. Like I said, I was there just to relax. But he came and sat down, dusting the sand off his feet or whatever, and we struck up a conversation. And he was like, yeah, I'm here from Australia. And I was asking him, what did he like about, coming to visit California, mainly Venice Beach. And he was just saying just how he enjoyed it, how you could definitely tell a difference between the beaches in Australia to the beaches here in California. So yeah, he was really nice. I wished him, the best of luck. Told him to continue to enjoy his visit to California. I hope it hasn't been too hot. And before he walked away, he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm used to it. Australia gets pretty hot too." So yeah, he was awesome. I spent the majority of the time at the beach. I just wanted to walk. You know what I'm saying? Just walk on the sand. Just walk on pavement that was different. It was, and I mean, the sand, when the water comes up, you felt the sand kind of loosening up underneath your feet. And I was like, all I need to do is just break my neck. That's all I need, and get swept away in the tidal wave. But anyways, it was just like a good day. Ended up driving back to the Airbnb and just sitting on the deck again, like I said, and just kicking my toes up and just sitting back and just looking over the mountains. And it gave me a chance to just, like I said, get my mind together and just figure out, okay, what are the next steps for things that I got coming up. I was just able to just listen to like the birds that was singing off in the distance. And the Airbnb host, they actually had two cats. I love cats. I love animals, period. But yeah, just playing with the cats who just were just so calming. I was like, yes. So then the next day, which was Sunday, which was the day I was actually going to drive back home later in the day, I wanted to go to a place where me and my friend from England went for brunch. The name of the place, just to not skip over, the name of the place is called Inn of the Seventh Ray, and that's on Old Topanga Canyon Road. And it wasn't too far from my Airbnb, so it was a short drive because I wanted to leave my Airbnb, drive to have lunch, just sit and enjoy my meal, and then eventually make my way driving back home. Because I was looking at, in California, if nobody has ever told you, or if you've never been to California and driven into traffic, it's on a whole nother level. So from my Airbnb to back home, probably would be maybe about 30 to 40 minutes. But we talking about California. We talking about traffic. So I was looking at a good like hour, before I get home. I just wanted to grab lunch, put something in my system before driving. So I go to end of the seventh ray, and it is an absolute beautiful place to go and have this breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Just beautiful. I did make reservations for one, and I ended up sitting out near, I can't, it's hard to describe it, but where I sat, you can see like just the beautiful greenery of, like, I think it's a creek on the other side where the other tables were at. There's like a little mini creek, I think, that runs right along there. I sat kind of in the middle near this Buddha statue, which I sat there before when me and my friend went. And I just got like, okay, I'm not gonna say that my lunch was light because my lunch was expensive. So I ended up having like this pan seared salmon, which I love. And when I got the bill, I almost passed out, even though I kind of seen it on the menu. But I was like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it's worth it. For $27, it was worth it. I was gonna eat it anyways. I don't care how bad it would have tasted or not, because $27, that does not grow on trees. Yeah, so I had that with sweet potato fries, which were like awesome. Which I've been eating a lot of sweet potato fries. I didn't even know you can turn sweet potato fries into French fries until this one time I went to Chicago. Okay, so anyways, like I said, I sat near this Buddha statue, and you see butterflies. They got little like Christmas lights up. From what I was told, you do get celebrities that do come in there. I didn't see any celebrities there. If they were there, I didn't even pay no attention because I pretty much like was just focusing on just taking everything in, just taking in, the atmosphere of just the calmness. And it was almost so quiet. People that were talking, and there wasn't a lot of people because there was like me, and I think I maybe counted like the couple that I ended up talking to that was like a table over from me, and there was like two other tables that were occupied, and I want to say maybe because it was lunch, and they probably wasn't expecting too many people to come for lunch. But yeah, it wasn't a lot of us. But even though people were like talking, I felt like I was in a library. So yeah, it was just like, God forbid my phone, when it did latch on to any type of service, would ring. I would feel awkward because it was just so quiet. I'm sitting there, I'm having my very expensive $27 salmon, which it was delicious. It was actually really, really delicious. And just, just enjoying myself. And the couple that was sitting next to me, they were celebrating their anniversary. And it was an older couple. Like, they looked like they might have been maybe in their 70s, and they were just so adorable. And they was just, having the time of their life, celebrating their anniversary, and me just sitting there at my table admiring them. And me and the wife actually made eye contact, and I wished them. I said, "Oh, I'm not staring. I just happened over here. You saying, y'all celebrating your anniversary and all this other stuff." And I, wished them a happy anniversary and hope for many more. And that opened up the door to an amazing conversation with people that I did not even know, and they didn't know me. And I find, and I can only speak for myself, I find that all it takes is for you to make eye contact with somebody, ask them how they're doing, or wishing them good luck or something like that, and that opens the door for them to just start talking. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes that's not a good thing. But this particular time, it was a great thing. And they it was so crazy because they kind of shuffled their chairs, even though we were at two separate tables, but the tables were actually close, where I didn't feel like I had to shout in order for them to hear me. It almost was like if you're talking on the phone with somebody. That's how close we were, where we were able to really, really talk. So they kind of shuffled their chairs where we were close enough where we could just talk. And I was just explaining to them, this is just my little getaway, just to, just to get re-energized from the previous work week and everything like that. And they were telling me about their anniversary and how long they've been married. I wish I could find somebody that I can be married to over 40 years. Yeah, I'm still looking. so, yeah. so yeah. Yeah, they were just an amazing couple. And um, I ended up getting ready to leave before them, because even though their meal came before mine, I think because we were having conversation, it was kind of like I was already pretty much not done with my meal, but I was done. so yeah, like I said, we talked, and I ended up, like I said again, wishing them a happy anniversary. And before I left, and which was so, oh my gosh, and I'm gonna try to stay as calm as possible and not start crying. The husband was like, oh, he tells, because I called for my bill. The waitress, she comes, the hostess. I hate to use the word waitress. I like hostess better. But the hostess comes over, and, I asked her, oh, I'm about to leave. Could I have my bill, please? The couple go, don't worry about your bill. We got you. We will pay for your bill. And I was like, oh my gosh, no, 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 don't pay for my bill. It's like, this is your special day. You need to worry about your bill. And they were so adamant about, we will pay for your bill. And I explained to them, I said, hey, I love talking to people in general. I says, I don't care what your age is, what ethnicity you are, I don't care. It's just like, I'm telling you, if a tree made eye contact with me, we're gonna have a conversation. It's just how much I love talking. They paid for my bill. And I wish I could have did something in return for them. But like I said, they were so adamant, like, don't worry about it. We got you. As I parted ways, and another thing too about where this restaurant is, and I'm going to keep dropping the name because it is an amazing place. Again, the end of the Seventh Ray. When you come out the front entrance, there's also a gift shop that you can go into, and that's connected to the restaurant. And you can go in there, and they got just all types of souvenirs that, from what I seen, it almost like it's stuff that represents like the restaurant or the name of this restaurant, if that makes sense. I actually didn't get anything there. I just went in there to look because I just think it's a beautiful gift shop. It's different. There's gift shops all over the world, and to me, I think every gift shop is different, but this is different, and that's what stood out to me. I took a few pictures of a gift shop. Yeah. 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 So anyways, yeah, so I took a few pictures. I took a few pictures on the outside, and by the time I left and got in my car, sun was up. It was starting to get a little warm. Not too warm because again, I'm not too far off from the water. As I'm driving down, and that's another thing too. Side note, Topanga Canyon, when you're driving along the road, if you're going, because as you're driving into the canyon, you're going up, right? Well, your car is struggling. Well, mine's dead. My car was probably saying, what are you doing and why are we going in this direction? Now, coming down, and the speed limit, mind you, the speed limit, I think it's like 25 or 15 because you're going around a lot of curves. So it's like 15 miles an hour. Going down, I could take my feet off the brake or off the gas, and my car would be hauling ass. Excuse my language, literally down the hill to the point where you're constantly braking because again, now you're going down, so you're going down hills and you're going around these curves that if you bend the wrong way, you're going to hit you're literally going to run into the mountain. It was just like I says, I cannot wait to get on even surface, which was going to be Pacific Coast Highway, because Topanga Canyon, that whole stretch will have you rethinking your life choices when you're driving. There's no way. I mean, you see people, and what was so crazy is you had people that would be up on you, bumper to bumper, and it's just like, how fast do you think I'm gonna go? Seriously? It's like back up. By this time, it was a lot of people, and this was on a Sunday, so of course, there's gonna be a lot of people out. And I said, wow, this is probably gonna be the last time I really do come in this direction, even though I hope not, because I really do like going to the beach. I love the water. I can't swim worth a lick, but I'm gonna put my feet in some water. So yeah, so it was just like I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and head back and get ready to start this new week. But that was the best quick getaway that I needed, because when the new work week started, I felt energized, and I felt like sometimes we need to literally just not do anything, even if it's for like a couple of days, because our bodies have a way of letting us know either you're going to slow down or I'm going to slow you down. And I needed that. And that was the best thing ever. And I would recommend anybody, if you come to California, whether you're coming by yourself or you're coming with some people, definitely do Topanga Canyon, the Airbnbs up in there. And there was quite a bit of Airbnbs, but don't forget to stop at Santa Monica Pier, Venice Beach, and definitely do a end of the Seventh Ray restaurant. And that's on Old Topanga Canyon Road. Yes. So that's my my story on my 2-day break into Topanga Canyon, and how just a lunch that was meant for one turned into a lunch that was for three. And I can't thank that couple enough for, even though I probably made their day, they actually made my day, because they showed me a lot of things. They showed me that there is true love out there if you just hang tight and not lose sight of who you are and your worth. But they also showed me what that kindness is still there in humans. There's still kindness there, and there still are people out in this world that are just absolutely amazing. I'm gonna trademark that word amazing because I use it so much. In the next episode, I'm going to be talking to my friend Tiff. So her name is Tiffany, but I call her Tiff. And we're going to be talking about when she went to Charleston by herself. And she went for like a week. And she's a wife and she's a mom. And I am so proud of her, because there's like 3 of us. It's me, our friend Barbara, and then Tiff. And I think out of the 3 of us, I'm the most adventurous. And Tiff is she's more cautious. I mean, she doesn't live by the seat of her pants like I do. But yeah, so I can't wait to share her story. So have a great rest of the day, my moonbeams. Take care. Bye.